Caring for your loved ones can sometimes take a toll on you emotionally and physically. And if you're paying for the cost out of pocket, it can also hit you financially. There are nearly 150,000 family caregivers in Hawaii, and I have to be honest with you, I'm one of them. And here to help us with managing the cost of caring is AARP caregiving expert Amy Goyer. She joins us live from Washington, D.C. Mahalo for joining us, Amy.
Thank you for having me. Very excited to be with you.
Thank you. I just how much is caregiving truly taking a toll on people financially?
Well, family caregivers are the backbone of our long-term care system. People like you, our friends and family. Caregivers, we live this for free. We don't get paid for this, and our long-term system would collapse without us. Millions of us are keeping our loved ones out of expensive nursing homes, taking care of our loved ones at home where most people want to be. And it can be very rewarding. I cared for multiple family members myself, but it was also required a lot of sacrifices. And we find that caregiving is especially difficult on the caregivers' finances. You mentioned about 154,000 family caregivers in Hawaii. And if they were paid to do the work that they are doing, it would cost $2.6 billion. That's just the state of Hawaii. So, we estimate that family caregivers not only have such a huge value, but also we're spending our own money to do this. We spend an average about 26% of our annual income on out-of-pocket caregiving costs. Nationally, that amounts to an average of about $7,200 a year. Some spend much more. And we pay for household expenses and transportation and respite care and adult daycare, food, medicines, so many things. And if you're long distance, you're spending even more. Or if you're caring for someone with dementia, as I cared for my dad who had Alzheimer's, it also costs much more. So, and the other piece of this is that 60% of family caregivers are working. And we often have to make adjustments to our work and maybe not make as much money. Or if we stop working and we may retire early due to caregiving, we may stand to lose about $300,000 in wages and benefits over our lifetime. So, as I mentioned, I've been a caregiver for my grandparents, my parents, my sister, other aunts, uncles, family members. And I have been, I've worked in this field of aging my entire career, 40 years, and it's still been very hard for me. This is a really difficult thing to do, and it was financially devastating for me.
I know, Amy. In fact, you want to make sure that your loved one is cared for. So you're going to do that, right? I mean, if there are no other resources out there, you're going to pull money out of your pocket. You're going to take out a loan. You're going to do what you can, right? But how can people manage those costs as a caregiver? What can we do?
Well, I have a few tips, and we're going to be having these workshops coming up, and I'm going to give you a lot more information because I get to come to Hawaii and meet with all you caregivers in person. But two things I would tell you right now. One is be sure to maximize any benefits or income that your loved ones may have. If they are eligible, if let's say you're caring for a veteran, make sure that they are availing themselves of any veterans benefits they may be eligible for, whether it's aid and attendance money, cash to help pay for their care, or medical equipment and medications and home health aids that the VA might provide. If they may be eligible for some public benefits, like help paying their utility bills. So make sure that you are maximizing all of those expenses. AARP has Guide to Public Benefits for every state, and you can find those on the AARP Hawaii website. And so that's my first tip. Maximize any kind of, if they have long-term care insurance, make sure you're tapping into that if they can qualify for it. And then the other thing is, as a caregiver, like I said, it was really hard for me. It was very financially devastating. In fact, I ended up in bankruptcy after about 15, 20 years of very intensive family caregiving. And I really would advise people to get a financial advisor for you, the caregiver. I had someone to help with my parents' finances. I took really good care of them, but I didn't take such good care of my own finances because I was paying for everything their budget wouldn't cover. And I just got in over my head with debt. So that's the one thing I wish I had done. I think I focused so much on them that I wasn't taking good enough care of my own finance.
Well, you know, Amy, I'm excited to have you come and speak with us here in Hawaii at the end of the month. So we want to thank you so much for joining us. We know you got so much great information to share with us, and we can't wait for that. We thank you so much for your time.